Today on the Trend Out Loud podcast. I totally disagree with this tweet. I totally disagree with any person of color with Caribbean descent or African descent or whatever that doesn't agree with Caribana and doesn't like to partake or understand why we do it. I feel like you're jailed in your mind and you need to be free. What up? It's your boy Trend Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got one lead story, but don't worry, I'm gonna make up for it in question of the day because I got two questions of the day. So I got one lead story. We're gonna talk about Cenat and the backlash that he has received from his trip in Jamaica when he attended Jamaica Carnival. That's a good story, so stay tuned for that. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Morant, Rihanna, then speed news. Like I said, question of the day, and then we're going to finish off with sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, devices, or your radios up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Cenat speaks on slander he received from Twitter during his recent vacation in Jamaica. All right, so this headline is a little bit misleading. He wasn't there on vacation. He was there to celebrate Jamaican Carnival with his friends. He got invited. I spoke about this yesterday. A lot of celebs are out there. Julie Black is out there. Shensia is out there. Well, Shensia lives there, but whatever. Coyle Ray, a couple of celebs that attended. But there was a video that went viral on Twitter and online, and somebody wrote this, all right? He says, well, first of all, let me describe the video. So the video is, I'm going to put it up on my YouTube page for those of you who want to see it. Go to my YouTube at Trend Out Loud. So the video is Kai and his friends, and Kai has this girl, he has her up in the air, kind of like her, and her legs are wrapped around his waist, and he's down dancing. She's like bouncing up and down on him. There's other people doing that. There's one of his white friends that people are super. Some people are like really laughing at. Like his little white friend is like behind some girl. He literally is like 80 pounds, and she's like 180 pounds. She looks super hot, but she's like twice his size, and he's there like grinding up on her. Normal Carnival activity, normal Caribana activity for those of you who know Caribana from West Indian culture. Anyway, so somebody, I think it's a black person, I think it's a black guy, he wrote this. He said, "This is bastardizing and fetishizing not only Caribbean culture, but also African culture retention. This is absolutely grotesque and disgusting. This is not playing mass," and he puts that in quotations. "This is sexual perversion, deviancy under the guidance of participation." And then somebody else wrote, Cenat, Ray, and the whole gang is never going to leave Jamaica underneath. So I guess this first person put the video and said, Kai, Ray, and the whole gang is never going to leave Jamaica. And then Mr. Yem, can't pronounce the last name, he wrote that saying that this is bastardizing our culture. All right, so I think I've told you guys all the details of the story. And let me tell you my take, all right? Around 2019, sorry, not around 2019, 2019, it was the year before COVID. I was doing a Trend Out Loud episodes on Instagram. This is before I started the podcast. And I hired a camera guy. We did 10 episodes like around Toronto. Like one was hitting the streets. We did a sneaker show. We did a mental health show, etc. One of the shows that I did, this was when IGTV was around. One of the shows that I did was I covered Toronto Carnival. Okay. And maybe I'll put it up one day on YouTube. It was really good. It's almost like 15 or 20 minutes. And one of the things that I did is I wanted to show the real origins and the background of Carnival, because so many people get so caught up with the costumes being very sexual, the dancing and how people are carrying on the day. And I think people not misunderstood, but forgot the origins of Carnival. Okay, so I won't go too deep into it, but at the end of the day, Carnival is celebrating our emancipation. It's celebrating our Black freedom, okay? And this all started in Trinidad, and they have another thing that they do too in the morning. can't remember where it's like, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's like when it comes from dawn and there's feathers and there's oil and there's paintings. And really what it derives from is us celebrating and mocking our slave masters, because as you all know, 400 years of slavery, when we got emancipated, we were free. We were able to be free to do whatever we want. So it was feathers and costumes and oil, and we were just having a good old time. And that's the origins of Caravana or Carnival, or whatever you want to call it. And it's what originated to what we have now. So a lot of people don't know that. So the costumes are us saying we could wear whatever we want, because after 400 years of slavery, our slave masters told us what to wear, how we should dress, how we should conduct ourselves and everything. So that's where the quote unquote sexuality comes from, because it's free. We could do whatever we want. I could wear what our costumes look like, a bra and panty or feathers or oils or get myself dirty. We could be free to do whatever we want. So that's Carnival. Part two to that, the music, whether it's reggae, whether it's calypso, soca, dancehall, and there's a bunch of different variations right now. But our culture and our music, our dancing is quote unquote also very sexual, right? Our dancing, grinding, holding a girl against a wall, church basement, whatever, etc. So that is all part of our culture. So that's why I take offense to this tweet when this guy says this is bastardizing and fetishizing Caribbean culture and African culture. It's not grotesque and it's not disgusting. Nobody is naked. That would be fetishizing. That would be grotesque. Nobody is naked. They are dancing and they're celebrating their freedom. Kai is doing exactly what the purpose of Carnival is meant to be. Black people, Caribbean people, African people being able to be free to do whatever they want to do, as long as they're not breaking the law. And they're not naked. There is no sexual acts. There's nothing going further on than people grinding on each other. That is not illegal. That is not fetishizing. That is a dance. And like I said, the guy's avatar, it looks like it's a black guy. And I understand a little bit, like, people not of the culture, white people, maybe not understanding, like, why are you guys like doing this in the streets? Why are you dressing like this? I understand them, but I can't for the life of me understand how a black person who should be on the streets with us celebrating our freedoms to do whatever we want is there on Twitter saying this is bastardizing and fetishizing and not really understanding like what you are getting mad at Kai for doing is exactly why we're doing it, because we are free. So he is like, this is kind of like reverse racism against your own people. I don't know if it's reverse or racism or whatever, but you're trying to control the behavior of a person for no reason, right? So anyways, it really gets me upset. Like I said, I understand if somebody's not of the culture and questions it and saying, hey, why is this? That's completely fine, right? Like I could look at an Indian culture and say, hey, why do you guys dress like this? What's a sari? Why are there elephants at your wedding? There's no problem with asking why other cultures do things, right? That could be different from you. Like I have a friend of mine who's Greek. She owns a Greek restaurant. One time we were there, they were partying. They break plates. Why do you guys throw plates? I'm not saying, man, these people are horrible. Look at them. They're violent. They're throwing plates. No, it's in the Greek culture to throw and break plates. I don't remember exactly the origins and what it's from, but it's part of their celebration. And I love all cultures, and I love when there's a story and an origin for something. Carnival, that is our origin. That is our story. That is our celebration. We are celebrating our freedom. We are celebrating our emancipation from slavery. And we are free to do whatever we want to do. So if we want to wear whatever costume, whether feathers, however we want to do, dance with each other, grind on each other, we are free to do whatever we want. And for any person, especially black person who doesn't understand that, man, I feel sorry for you. So I totally disagree with this tweet. I totally disagree with any person of color with Caribbean descent or African descent or whatever that doesn't agree with Caravana and doesn't like to partake or understand why we do it, I feel like you're jailed in your mind and you need to be free. So that's just my take on this. So shout out to Kai, shout out to Julie Black, shout out to Shensia, Corleray, and anybody else, any other celebs who are out there. Especially shining light on Jamaica Carnival, because you never hear too much about Jamaican Carnival. You always hear about like Brazil or London or Toronto, and of course Trinidad, right? And so just shout out to all you guys, and shout out to you guys for supporting Jamaica Carnival. For those of you who don't know, I am Jamaican. Both my parents are Jamaican. I was actually there 3 weeks ago. I wanted to be there for Carnival, but things didn't align with my schedule. But shout out to Jamaican Carnival and all Black people or Caribbean people, African people. We are free. Free your minds. Love yourself and love your people. All right, that brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Judge rules that Ja Morant acted in self-defense in the 2022 altercation involving a teenager. For those of you who don't remember this story, I'll read to you a little bit of the story so that you remember. On Monday, Tennessee judge ruled that Ja Morant acted in self-defense when he got into an altercation with a teenager at his home in July 2022. As previously reported, a lawsuit was filed against NBA superstar after he was accused of punching Joshua Holloway, who was 17 at the time, during a pickup basketball game. The altercation occurred after Holloway allegedly became upset after losing several games. He was accused of throwing a one-handed pass at Ja during a check ball situation, which the ball ended up hitting Ja in his face, leading them to step towards one another. According to ESPN, during the December 23 civil immunity hearing, Ja testified that he swung first at Holloway, but only to protect himself. Judge Carroll ruled that Ja enjoys the presumption of civil immunity under Tennessee's self-defense immunity statute, and that the burden of proof shifts towards Hallow and his legal team to prove that Ja didn't act in self-defense. A trial was originally scheduled to start in late April, but is expected to be pushed to a later date. All right, so you guys know that Ja Morant is my favorite player in the NBA. Well, my favorite new player, let's not get it twisted, because Steph Curry is still my favorite player. But everyone's always giving Ja such a hard time. So I really wanted to put this into quick news just to let everybody know that the judge has ruled that he's acted in self-defense. I think this is Ja Morant's kind of like last thing that he has kind of like hanging over his head when it comes to like trials and civil suits and stuff. So I'm a little bit confused with the ending part of the story, because it says, although it says in the beginning that the judge ruled that he acted in self-defense, I'm a little bit confused where it says a trial was originally scheduled to start in late April, but is expected to be pushed to a later date. If the judge rules that he acted in self-defense and that is part of Tennessee law, why is there still a trial? So I'm a little bit confused about that. But it looks like Ja has escaped this for now, and I don't know like what is going to happen. So anyways, Ja has escaped this, what it looks like. So I don't really have an exact definition because I don't know exactly what this means, but yeah, Ja is off for now. How about we leave it at that? Ja Morant is off from now. I hope he comes back next season focused, healthy, and ready, because I think Ja Morant is going to be the next face of the league. All right, in our second quick story, Rihanna covers Interview magazine. She's on the cover of Interview magazine. And everyone's talking about the article. There's a lot of things that were going on. She talked about Sierra. She talked about a lot of things in her career. But one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is something that she said about A$AP Rocky. And she said, Rihanna gives A$AP Rocky his fashion flowers. I feel bummy next to this man. Listen to this. One thing about Rihanna, she's going to give her man her flowers every chance she gets. Now, you all know A$AP Rocky and Rihanna always serves looks together, but Rihanna recently said her man sometimes gives her a run for her money in the clothing department. Isn't he the best? She said, I'd be feeling bummy as hell next to this man. I feel like, gosh damn, I look like his assistant. I'm getting on a plane and I'm like, shouldn't we be wearing sweats? And he wants to go in a fold out Bogetta suit. I don't even know what a Bogetta suit is. That's out of my price range. She also spoke about her mindset about getting dressed being the mother of two sons. It's more like I spend my time getting the kids dressed to death, and then I'm like, what's the most comfortable outfit for me to wear around them? What's not going to feel uncomfortable on their face or on their body or make me feel like I can't hold them up properly? Moms are lazy dressers in real life. Anyways, I just thought that was really funny because I would think it was vice versa. I would think Rihanna is like the fashion slayer in the family. But of course, I mean, all shout out to A$AP Rocky. He has always been a fashion guy. But it's just funny to learn that Rihanna thinks that he is the fashion leader in the family. But anyways, it's just nice to see Rihanna I don't know, like sound like a human being. I mean, she's a friggin' billionaire from Barbados. You know, she has beat all odds. So it's just nice. I mean, Rihanna is always down to earth, but whatever. It's just nice to see her give A$AP his flowers and to give us a kind of like a little sneak peek into, you know, the A$AP Rocky Rihanna family and how they get dressed and how they go around on private jets and what they're thinking about before they go out. So shout out to Rihanna. And for you Rihanna fans out there, make sure you check out Interview Magazine. I heard it's a really good article and she's really talking about a lot and letting us into a lot of things. So check it out. All right, this brings us to speed news. Ring my bell. Latto reveals her top 3 females of all times. We have a little clip. Take a listen.
What are your top 3 females of all time in hip hop?
Wait, my favorite or like the best?
The best. I'm gonna say the best. I'm gonna say the best.
Okay. Kim, gotta say Kim. I'm gonna say Left Eye. Rest in peace, Left Eye. And Shawty.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of things to unpack out here. First of all, I like that she clarifies favorite or best because that's 2 different lists. You can have your favorites but not think that someone's the best but your favorite, right? Like 50 Cent is one of my favorite rappers, but I don't think he's top 3 best rappers of all time. So there's a different list. So we're talking about best. Second of all, you can't tell somebody who they think is best, especially somebody who's a rapper. But I just... so that's, first of all, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Second thing, just to let you guys know, when she says Shawty, she's talking about Nicki Minaj. Her and Nicki are in some beef. I didn't even remember that they were beefing, but I just realized it in the comment section. So she doesn't want to say Nicki Minaj, so she just says Shawty, and she's pointing up there. I guess there's a picture of Nicki Minaj on the wall. So that's her top 3: Little Kim, Left Eye, and Nicki Minaj. So yeah, but although you cannot tell anybody who the best is, I just feel as a female rapper, like she left off a lot of notables. Like if you give your top 3, you should always maybe put some notables in there because Little Kim, 100%. But the question is rapper. Like Little Kim wasn't necessarily like known as a rapper. Like when you say rapper, you're like, lyrics. I mean, that's the first thing. Like Little Kim was more of a movement, right? And ushering in like the sexy female rapper, where like Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, and the women before her were not super sexy. So Little Kim was kind of like the Madonna of rap. So that's what she's more credited for. Like it's been noted very openly that Biggie wrote a lot of her rhymes, right? So that's one thing to question. 2, Left Eye, like, okay, like fine. Like I said, you can't question that, but I'm just like, how could you miss out like Lauryn Hill? Like Lauryn Hill's a rapper, like, you know what I mean? Like, and very versatile. I mean, she's equally an amazing singer as well too. But anyways, I would just think that you would put somebody in there who's a little bit more lyrical. Nicki Minaj would be the one that I would think would be lyrical. Again, like I said, quote unquote, like rapper. So you said best rapper, not influential or whatever, or favorite. Favorite, that'd be a different, but best rapper, oof. Anyways, this is supposed to be speed news. I could get carried away talking about rappers all day, but yeah, I kind of, although you shouldn't question somebody's top 3, I kind of question it because she said best rapper, not favorite. I kind of feel like her answer was favorite and not best. That's basically what I'm trying to say. All right, and our second speed story. All right, I took a lot of time up with Latto. Let me get through this one quickly. Rick Ross's ex, Christina Mackey, has released a track. Some people are saying it's kind of like a diss track I will play a little snippet of it for you quickly. I can't play a lot because of obviously for copyright reasons, but here's a little quick listen. Take a listen.
You know I was really down for you. Now you asking for forgiveness.
I was really down for you, asking for forgiveness. More importantly, Christina is looking hot. The cover picture she put out for this song, she looks super hot. Rick Ross has Instagrammed her a couple of times. I was like, she's all right. But yo, she looks super, 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 super hot. Go check out the picture on my YouTube page at Trend Out Loud. So, shout out to Christina Maki. The song is actually also not too bad, but I think she's getting a lot of attention for this picture. She is looking super hot, and I think that's probably why Rick Ross is asking for forgiveness. All right, in our third speed story, J. Cole wants to do something with 7 Minute Drill. Like, this is absolutely getting crazy right now. I don't even want to tell you. I have a clip. You could listen for yourself.
Yo, E, we taking that song off of fucking streaming services. Niggas is gonna have to deal with it.
All right, I have talked at length about J. Cole, 7 Minute Drill, and the apology and all of that stuff. And just, go back to episode 222 and 223 to hear my take on this. J. Cole wanting to take down the song, it's just getting even worse, Cole. Like, seriously, stop it. All right, in our fourth speed story, Willow Smith reveals she's working on new music. She put out a picture for, I guess maybe it's just the cover of her album, and a fro. She has on super cool grills. She has a big smile on her face. It looks really dope. She said, a new musical composition by Willow coming soon. Keep your third eye peeled. Keep your third eyes peeled. Okay. Anyways, I love Willow, man. You know, I'm a Smith fan, although there's been so much controversy in the past couple of years with them. But, what are we going to get? Are we going to get rock Willow? Are we going to get whip your hair Willow? Although she's been noted, she's gone on record that she hates whip my hair. What was it? I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair. Used to like that song. Anyways, shout out to Willow. I can't wait to hear the new album. All right, in our fifth speed story, Damson Idris is named Essence Magazine's first 2024 Sexiest Man of the Moment. Now, y'all know I love Damson Idris. Snowfall, for those of you who haven't watched Snowfall, I envy you. It's 5 seasons. If I hadn't watched it, I would be so happy to sit down and be able to binge watch that show. It's one of my top 5 shows of all time, scripted series, maybe top 10. But anyway, shout out to Damson. So I'm not here to comment on Sexiest Man. I just don't understand the Sexiest Man of the Moment. Like, what does that even mean? Sexiest Man of the Moment. Anyway, and they also put out like a video that goes along with it. I'll put it up on my YouTube page. And it's just weird because the video looks like parts of him, but then parts of it is not him. So, and they also said, this is just the beginning. We have more to come. But what does Sexiest Man of the Moment mean? Like, I don't understand what Essence Mags is saying by this, but shout out to Damson. That's my boy. Yo, shout out to Damson. All right, in our sixth speed story, Nicki Minaj thanks fans following reports of Pink Friday 2 becoming the highest grossing tour in female rap history. So speaking of Nicki Minaj, one of Latto's top 3 rappers of all time, I'll read what's going on. So according to touring data, Nicki Minaj Pink Friday tour officially becomes the most successful tour by a female rapper in history with 34.9 million from 220,000 tickets sold in the first 17 shows. That's one accolade. Second accolade, Nicki Minaj becomes the first female with more concerts earning over $2 million in ticket sales in each 11 shows. It's kind of like a little bit of a weird stat, but okay. Then the third stat is Nicki Minaj earns the highest grossing concert by a female in history with $2.858 million at Madison Square Gardens in New York on March 30th, 2024. So, Nicki Minaj is out here doing it big. There's not too many female rappers that can actually headline their own tour. So I'm not surprised that she would make these kind of numbers. The overall sales being 35 million is not all that huge when you look at other concerts, like for example, Beyonce or Taylor Swift or whatever. But when you drill it down to female rappers, then that's why she's going to stand out, because there's not too many female rappers, period. And then there's not too many female rappers that could sell out and headlined her own show in stadium. So not taking anything away, just putting what's the word I'm looking for? Just making I can't think of the word, but whatever. Just shout out to Nicki, all right? Shout out to Nicki. Putting it in perspective, putting things into perspective. That's what I was trying to say. Shout out to Nicki on the accolades. Nicki's one of the best. She's actually also in my top 10 hip hop artists, rappers of all time, not only just men and women. So just for you guys, any of you who think I was hating by putting things in perspective, shout out to Nicki. All right, in our 7th speed story, Rumi Carter, Beyoncé and Jay-Z's daughter, is the youngest female artist to ever appear on the Billboard Hot 100. According to Billboard, 6-year-old Rumi Carter makes history becoming the youngest female artist to ever appear on the Billboard Hot 100. Projector from Cowboy Carter is the song that helped her claim this prestigious title from her big sister, Blue Ivy, when featured on Brown Skin Girl. So this is like, it's kind of cheating a little bit, putting a baby on something and be like, oh, whatever. But hey, I guess their voice is still there. They put them down as artists. So technically, Rumi is the youngest. But didn't somebody put wasn't Blue Ivy on as a 2-year-old or something? So maybe it was like a songwriter. Anyways, I don't know. Beyonce and Jay-Z always be doing this. They're always, this their kids in the top 2 or 3 spots of youngest, but it's kind of cheating, but whatever. Shout out to Rumi. All right, in our 8th speed story, J. Cole's Might Delete Later album, his numbers are in, and it is projected to sell 138,000 copies in its first week. Yeah, I mean, no surprise there. J. Cole is a huge artist, formerly part of the Big Three, because everybody has taken him out. That is not amazing numbers for J. Cole. I would think it would be upwards of the 200 or 250, especially seeing that there's so much hype and so much around. I think Future and Metro Boomin's album did 250,000 the first week. So for J. Cole to be doing half of that is a little bit surprising. I think maybe the apology hurt it, but I mean, he just did the apology Sunday and everybody heard it on Monday, and this came out yesterday on Tuesday. So the Monday sales couldn't have really hurt, but who knows? Everybody said that they really liked the album, but it's kind of a little bit surprising. I wonder if he is going to delete it. Like I just said earlier, he wants to delete one song. Maybe he might just delete the whole thing and just forget it ever happened. Who knows? All right, in our 9th and final speed story, Aoki Lee Simmons, 21 years old, has reportedly ended her fling with her 65-year-old, quote-unquote, sugar daddy, who was 65 years old. All right, I talked about this, I think it was on yesterday's episode or maybe Monday's episode, where Kimora Lee Simmons and Russell Simmons' daughter, who's 21 years old, was in St. Bart's with a 65-year-old restaurateur, and now she is claiming that she was just out in St. Bart with one of her friends. Listen to this.
I was in St. Bart with my friends.
Okay, she speaks really fast, but I think you guys heard her. I was in St. Bart with my friends, so whatever. Apparently, the rumors online is that Kimora was really upset with her. Whatever. I guess when she got back, they had a mom and daughter talk or whatever, and now she's coming back online and saying yo, I was just out with my friend or whatever. So whatever. I think it's good because I even said that yesterday, I think, where it was listen, I understand parents accepting their kids to, doing whatever they want to do as adults and not always, having, a stranglehold on your kids and letting them do what they want to do and making their own mistakes. But when your 21-year-old, clearly very immature daughter is in St. Bart's and putting everything on live with a 65-year-old restaurateur that's clearly just into her because she's young, that's, I think, when a parent has to step in. So I'm glad to see this is over before it got even worse. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, I got 2 funny questions of the day for you. The first one is, what is the right way to eat your Oreo? All right, so there's 6 ways that this site put up. I got this from the Shade Room. For those of you who are not seeing this on YouTube, I'll describe all 6 of them to you. So one of them is scrape the cream. So you take the top off, scrape the cream off. 2 is bite it. 3 is lick the cream. 4 is eat the halves separately. So you take one off, eat one cookie, and then eat whatever. 5 is dunk it. dunk it in milk. And 6 is stack the cream. So if you have a couple of them, you take out the creams and stack them. So I'll read you some of the comments and let you know. Fashion Nova wrote 4 and 5. So that is eat half separately and dunk it. Somebody wrote 2, which is bite it. 3, somebody said put it in the trash. Okay, you're just not being fun. Somebody wrote, people just lick the cream. Why? Because it's the best part. Somebody else wrote, I don't be wanting all the cream inside. The real Brunel wrote, why don't y'all just bite the cookie and eat it? Okay, so that's your choice. That's number 2, Mr. Real Brunel. Vibe with Josh wrote 2 and 5. All the others are just childish. So 2 and 5 is bite it and dunk it. Okay, so dunking it is not childish. Somebody wrote, whoever does 6 back giggles when they breathe. I don't even know what that means, but that is stacking the cream. Oh, I think they mean that they're overweight. All right, I get that. Somebody wrote, if you eat it like 6, you're going straight to jail, which is stacking up the cream. For those of you who are not seeing the picture is literally like 6 or 7 like middles, white middles stacked with just 2 on the side. 3 is fake crazy. What? Licking the cream? How is 3 is fake crazy? Fuel the Body wrote, I eat an Oreo like I eat. Okay, well, I can't talk about that. He's talking about a female. Can't talk about those things on the radio. Somebody says, why isn't a McFlurry the answer? Okay, that was really funny. And the last person wrote 1 and 5, which is cream and dunk it. So most of the people is not bite it. And I think that's what's super cool about Oreos is that you don't just bite it like a regular cookie. And I think that's the fascination with Oreos. Anyways, when I used to eat Oreos as a kid, I don't really eat that much junk food right now. But when I used to eat Oreos, I would do it in none of these 6 ways. I would take 3 or 4 of them, take out the middle, take out the white cream, and I would roll it in a ball. Don't ask me why. I would roll it in a ball, and then I would eat the ball by itself. I don't remember what I did with the actual cookie part. I'm sure I ate it, but I may have thrown away a couple of the cookies because just eating the plain old like brown cookie is not amazing from what I remember because I have an ultra sweet, mega sweet tooth. So I could literally just eat the cream. I think that's the reason why I don't have like Oreo blizzards or Oreo cake or whatever. It's like I don't necessarily like, because I don't really like chocolate, but I love the cream. But yeah, I could literally just eat the white cream inside. Anyways, that's my answer. All right, second question of the day. Single people, what's on the other side of your bed? I thought this was really funny because I am single. So Mommy Mermaid said my kid, obviously with a handle like Mommy Mermaid, of course your kid. Dimples wrote pillows. Emma wrote my kids. Fashion Nova wrote the consequences of protecting my peace. I thought that was really funny. Naomi wrote the maid side. The maid side, I guess not maid, but maid, M-A-D-E, because she's saying she doesn't kind of like wind it down. Remotes, skeletons of boyfriends past. Thought that was really funny. Somebody else wrote pillows. Okay, I can't really say this other one. Hold on, maybe I could do this one. His name is Jackery. He charges my phone while I'm asleep. That's really funny. Somebody said, clean clothes, I ain't fold yet. That's hilarious. I do that sometimes, I can't lie. Jackie said, clothes that I need to fold. Suzanne82 wrote, pillows and peace. I love that one. And okay, I'll read 2 more for you. Somebody put the gun the gun emoji. That's really funny. Ivy Witherspoon wrote, bottled water, candy, pillows, and a remote. Who puts bottled water and pillows beside them while they sleep? Somebody wrote peace and quiet, and the last person here wrote silence, a great concept. Anyways, I thought it was really funny. But yeah, for me, same thing, man. My remote, pillows, and my laptop. It literally becomes, when you're single, that side of the bed literally becomes like your resting spot for a bunch of stuff. And I've obviously lived with people, so I know both ways. Like when you're living with somebody, you never put anything on that person's side of the bed. But as soon as you're single again and there's nobody there, oh my gosh, that's a haven. your clean clothes, you'll put it there. You'll put I'll put wardrobes out sometimes if I'm packing, or if I'm putting the stuff out to wear. It's like if I have a big meeting the next day, I'll put stuff out. Like it literally becomes, the other side of the bed literally becomes like a piece of furniture that you just put stuff on, especially too if you have a king size bed. But anyways, I thought that was funny, man. Shout out to all my single people. All right, this brings us to sports news. Stephen A. Smith was on Drink Champs. Shout out to DJ Effin and Nori. I miss Drink Champs, man. I don't know what happened to them. They kind of fell off after that Kanye interview. But anyways, shout out to Drink Champs. Stephen A. Smith was on there, and he chose Drake over Kendrick Lamar when Nori asked him who he would pick between Kendrick and Drake. I have a little clip. Take a listen to what he said.
Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
I'm going to go with Drake. I don't hear too many people coming at Kendrick Lamar. But everybody always trying to come at Drake.
That's facts, yeah. Damn, that's facts.
And obviously I can relate.
All right, I could take that. He knows that, Drake is in battle mode right now, and he's saying people always come for Drake, and he's always standing. And then he says that, he feels the same way because people are always coming at him. So that is Stephen A. Smith's take. So that's it, man. I thought it was funny to just throw that in. The fact that Stephen A. Smith was comparing himself to Drake. All right. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. All right. That's it for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I got to remind you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube or on podcast platforms, please remember you could always check me out weekdays from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area, and vice versa if you're listening to this podcast on the radio or on 600.com. Please remember, if you can't always listen to the podcast between 11 to 12, you can always catch the podcast on demand on YouTube or on podcast platforms. Just search Trend Out Loud. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for kicking it with me. I'm out. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace. For more content, you could subscribe, download, or listen to the Trend Out Loud podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, or you could watch us on YouTube. Just search Trend Out Loud. For showtimes and updates, you could follow us on all social platforms at Trend Out Loud. Go to signupexpert.com/Trent. Once you sign up for all betting apps and get all your bonuses and get all your rewards, go to your app store and download BetStamp and use promo code TOL.